met a gypsy.
But there's a certain level that, you, like what you just said, of I just kind of had to focus on myself and work hard. What you ended up doing was becoming undeniable. It didn't matter that you lived in Perth. It didn't matter that you didn't have any of these connections. And all of the shit that could be a potential excuse now doesn't matter because you did the things that you did. You became this undeniable talent within the sport. And then the rest of it just takes care of itself, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's you just working hard because you're passionate. You just want to be the best you can be. It's like entered a competition because I wanted to see how it'd go. I wanted to win, and then during that competition you meet someone that's running another event, and then it's through the passion and through pushing yourself and progression that you meet these people and all these doors are opened, and it just wouldn't happen if you didn't learn the tricks, if you didn't push yourself, if you didn't give it a crack.
and the thing is that you were doing all of that before the opportunities were there.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of times people will look at the you that's there now, and you're like, oh, look how easy it is for him to practice. He's got an air bat. It's like, well, I didn't have one.
Yeah, it is funny like that. It's it's easy. It is really easy to look at people and say, yeah, like there were opportunities. I mean, everyone gets opportunities, but you have to also be prepared for when that opportunity comes around. Like the first few, I had to pay, had to get myself to these rev heads. I crashed, had to go through recovery, had to, I was lucky I had the room on the farm, but I still had to build the jumps, had a bobcat that was hired. I think the old man had hired on, it's just, still had to pay for diesel, the old man. I still had to work on the farm to pay for my bike, to buy things like that. And right up to X Games, like my first X Games, I got a bronze in best trick. And
what trick was that with?
Just double flip. Jacko did a front flip. Sinclair did a double flip. Knack. And just like on TV, like, oh, congrats, you got a third. It's like that was a horrible weekend. It was terrible. I went there with my mate Ash, who ride with, but he's a mechanic as well. And in practice, I was doing one-hand takeoff flips. I remember Nate Adams doing them. Just off super kicker, and I did one in practice. I was under rotating, not going to make it, so I jumped over the front and just smashed. Didn't break it, but jarred my ankle so hard it was just I could barely walk, and it was swollen, and had to strap it up to jam it in my motocross boot, so could barely even walk on that. And then I think I must have got my best trick done. I only just snuck that around, which was awesome. It was just an accomplishment to finally did one to do it. But then in the freestyle,
was that the first time you'd done one to do it?
Yeah. I think I did a couple. I was at Travis's beforehand. I think I'd been to X Fighters, back to Travs, and we'd bunch into the pit. I did a couple to his mulch pile, but mulch a bit soft, sort of get to the wheels and got sucked in and just
yeah.
But then in the freestyle competition, I tried hard for a rule flip, and as I straightened up, looked through a bit too hard and dislocated one shoulder and my right shoulder, and so it sort of got back to my bike, but washed out, and I was done. And like people were like, yeah, congrats on gold, but I couldn't walk, I couldn't move my arm. My mate Ash had to do everything, had to cart my bags. I was like just struggling to move around, and it's just horrible. But you just there's all this training and stuff that goes on in the background, and it's never easy, but I guess you need a burning desire to learn or to progress, no matter what comes in your way.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.